to Jason Tuitions. In today's class, we are continuing with our chemical reactions and equations. In the previous class, we stopped with double displacement reaction, and today we will be continuing with the chapter. Today we will see what are thermochemical reactions. Thermochemical reactions. Thermo means heat. Okay, so all the chemical reactions in which heat is involved, okay, that they are called as thermochemical reactions. So thermochemical reactions means the reactions in which heat energy is involved. It's called as thermochemical reactions. These thermochemical reactions, they are divided into two types. One is endothermic reaction and the other one is exothermic reaction. First, let us study what is endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction means the reactions in which heat energy is absorbed. Okay, if any reaction takes place by the absorption of heat energy, it is called as endothermic reaction. Okay, so what is endothermic reaction? The reactions in which heat energy is absorbed is called as endothermic reactions. Okay, so for example, you can write your thermal decomposition reactions. Okay, any one thermal decomposition reaction you can write as example. For example, we studied the decomposition of ferrous sulfate. Okay, so what will happen? So this triangle symbol indicates heat. So we are providing heat. So this ferrous sulfate will decompose by absorbing heat energy. That is why it is coming under the category endothermic reaction. So we already studied this Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. I told you the observations also. This FeSO4 is pale green in color. So when you heat it, it will become brown. So the color change will be from pale green to brown color. So SO2 and SO3 gases are released, which means you will get the smell of burning sulfur. So this is an example for endothermic reactions. Okay, so endothermic reaction means the reaction in which heat energy is absorbed. So example, you can write this, or any thermal decomposition reaction you can write as example. So one more question they will ask in this. Okay, they will ask you why photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction. Why photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means the reaction in which, the process in which green plants prepare their own food. How do they prepare their own food? In the presence of sunlight. Sunlight means what? Light energy is absorbed and also heat energy is absorbed. Okay, so photosynthesis, it takes place by the absorption of heat and light energy. So that is why we can categorize this photosynthesis as endothermic reaction. So what answer you will write? Photosynthesis takes place by the absorption of energy. Photosynthesis takes place by the absorption of energy, and that is why it is coming under endothermic reaction. Okay, so if you want, you can also write the equation which you have studied in your biology for equation for photosynthesis, that also you can write. Okay, so we have completed endothermic. The next one is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction means what? The reaction in which heat energy is absorbed. Exothermic means the reaction in which heat energy is released. Okay, so the reactions in which heat energy is released is called as exothermic reaction. Okay, so heat energy will be released. So example, you can take the combination reaction which we studied. Okay, so the combination reaction, we studied one important equation, the reaction of quicklime and water. Reaction of quicklime and water. So what will happen? What is the formula for quicklime? CaO plus water H2O. So what we got there, CaO plus H2O gives CaOH twice plus heat. So there I told you heat is released, the beaker also will become warm. Okay, so that is the observation. So this is an example for combination reaction. Since heat is released, we can also say it is an example for exothermic reaction. So suppose if they ask the question, give an example for a combination reaction which is also exothermic, then you can write this equation. So this equation is an example for combination reaction which is also exothermic. Which is also exothermic. Okay. So in endothermic reaction, they asked a question why photosynthesis is an endothermic reaction. Similarly, in exothermic reaction, they will ask a question why respiration is an exothermic process. Is considered as an exothermic reaction. Why respiration is considered an exothermic reaction. So first I will explain this answer, then I will write the notes for this. Okay. So respiration. So now you are eating food, yes or no? So all the food which you eat, it get digested. So the food get digested, and the food is, during digestion, the food which we eat, it is converted into glucose. Okay, the food that we eat is converted into glucose during the process of digestion. Okay, this glucose, it will combine with the oxygen. During respiration, what gas we are inhaling? We are inhaling oxygen gas. So the food which is converted into glucose, it will combine with the oxygen which we are getting by the process of respiration. During respiration, we will be inhaling oxygen. So this oxygen which is present in the cells will combine with the glucose which is formed during digestion. Okay, and it will form carbon dioxide and water. So the glucose which is formed by the digestion of the food reacts with the oxygen present in the cell. How do we get this oxygen? By respiration, and gives carbon dioxide and water. During this process, heat energy is released. Okay, so this, because of this release of this heat energy only, we will call the respiration as an exothermic reaction. So what is the use of this heat energy? This heat energy only, it maintains our body temperature. Okay, so now I will write the notes for this. You can just copy it down. The digested food. So point wise I will write. The digested food in the form of glucose combines with oxygen present in the cells to form carbon dioxide and water. Okay. During this process, heat energy is released. Heat energy is released. Okay. So what is the use of this heat energy? It maintains our body temperature. The heat energy maintains our body temperature. Okay, so because of this release of heat energy, we will call it as an exothermic reaction. During this process, heat energy is released, so it is exothermic. So we have to write the equation for this respiration. So what is happening? Glucose is combining with oxygen. So what is the formula for glucose? C6H12O6. It is combining with oxygen in the presence of water. Okay. So glucose combines with oxygen in the presence of water. It will give carbon dioxide plus water and heat energy is released. Carbon dioxide plus water plus heat. So because of this release of heat energy only, we will call respiration as an exothermic reaction. So understood what are thermochemical reactions, endothermic reaction and exothermic reactions. Next one is precipitation reactions. During the characteristics of chemical reactions, I told you what is a precipitate. What is a precipitate? Precipitate means an insoluble solid that is formed during the reaction. An insoluble solid that is formed during the reaction. So whenever an insoluble solid is formed during the reaction and it settles down at the bottom, okay, it is called as a precipitation reaction. So precipitation reaction means the reactions in which a precipitate is formed. In which a precipitate is formed. What do you mean by a precipitate? An insoluble solid is formed. So example, you have studied many reactions in which a precipitate is formed. Yes or no? In double decomposition reaction and all you have studied. So we can write the reaction between barium chloride and sodium sulfate. So already I have taught this. So what will happen? Sodium will come to barium's place and barium will go to sulfate's place. Okay, so what I will get? So if barium comes here, I will get barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. I will get sodium chloride. So let me write the equation. Barium chloride BaCl2 plus sodium sulfate Na2SO4 gives barium sulfate Ba and SO4. It will form BaSO4 plus 2Na and 2Cl is present. So it will form 2NaCl. Barium sulfate is the precipitate. So I should put a downward arrow mark. Okay, so all these things we have studied in double displacement reaction. That same equation, any one equation you can write. Okay, so this is called as precipitation reaction. The next one is oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. Oxidation means addition of oxygen. Okay. So oxidation reaction means the reactions in which addition of oxygen takes place. Addition of oxygen takes place. There is another definition for oxidation. Addition of oxygen, or you can also say it is removal of hydrogen. So that definition also we can write. So the reactions in which removal of hydrogen takes place. Removal of hydrogen takes place is called as oxidation reaction. Okay, so what is oxidation reaction? The reaction in which addition of oxygen takes place or removal of hydrogen takes place. So addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. So we will write one example. C plus O2 gives CO2. So here carbon is alone. So we are adding oxygen to this carbon, addition of oxygen. So it is an example for oxidation reaction. 2Mg plus O2 gives 2MgO. Here magnesium, I am adding oxygen to magnesium. So it is an example for oxidation reaction. So oxidation means addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Okay, so the next one is reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. Reduction reaction means it is opposite of oxidation. Oxidation means what? Addition of oxygen, I told you. So reduction means it is removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen. And what is the other definition for oxidation? Removal of hydrogen. So it will be addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen. So oxidation reaction means addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Reduction reaction means removal of oxygen or addition of oxygen, hydrogen. Okay, so it is opposite to oxidation reaction. So example, H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. Okay, so here chlorine. What I am doing here, I am adding hydrogen to chlorine. So since I am adding hydrogen, it is an example for addition of hydrogen. So it is example for reduction reaction. So hydrogen plus sulfur gives hydrogen sulfide. Here also I am adding hydrogen to sulfur. Okay, so addition of hydrogen, so it is an example for, yes, reduction reaction. Okay, so the next one is redox reactions. So redox reactions, as you can see, the name says it is redox. RED means it stands for reduction. Okay, OX means it stands for oxidation. So redox reaction means both reduction and oxidation will take place in the same reaction. Then it is called as a redox reaction. So what is redox reaction? The reactions in which both oxidation and reduction takes place. The reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place is called as redox reaction. Example, CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. Okay, see here, I will tell why it is an example for redox reaction. So here you can see CuO, it is getting converted into Cu. So what is happening here? CuO is there, but here oxygen is missing. Oxygen is removed here. So here in this step there is removal of oxygen. Okay, so removal of oxygen means what is this step? It is reduction step. Okay, now you see hydrogen getting converted into H2O. Here hydrogen is alone. Okay, but here what is happening? This oxygen is getting added to hydrogen. So oxygen is getting added. So there is addition of oxygen. So addition of oxygen means it is oxidation. So reduction also is taking place, oxidation also is taking place in this reaction. So it is an example for redox reaction. Understood? So what is redox reaction? One more example I will write. Example number 2. ZnO plus C gives Zn plus CO. Okay, so ZnO, zinc oxide plus carbon gives zinc plus carbon monoxide. So ZnO is getting converted into Zn. So here I am removing the oxygen from zinc. So removal of oxygen. So this step is the reduction step. And here carbon is getting converted into carbon monoxide. Oxygen is added to carbon. So addition of oxygen, it is oxidation. So both oxidation and reduction are taking place. So it is an example for redox reaction. Okay. So now they will give some questions based on this redox reaction. What they will do is they will give one equation like this. CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. They will give you an equation like this and they will ask you 4 questions based on this equation. They will ask you to find out the substance oxidized, the substance reduced, which is the oxidizing agent, and which is the reducing agent. They will ask you these 4 questions by giving an equation. Always remember the clue which I say. Always remember when they ask a question like this, all the answers will be in the reactant side only. Don't look in the product side for the answers. Okay, whenever they ask a question, see only the reactant side. You should not see the product side for the answer. First, substance oxidized, substance reduced. Let us leave these two. Oxidizing agent, reducing agent. You must know what is an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent means the substance that donates oxygen. The substance that donates oxygen is called as oxidizing agent. Now here we have 2 substances, CuO and H2. In this 2, which will donate oxygen? The CuO only is having oxygen. So this only will donate oxygen. So CuO is the oxidizing agent. If CuO is the oxidizing agent, then H2 will be the reducing agent. Understood? So oxidizing agent means the substance that donates oxygen. So here, which is having oxygen, that is the oxidizing agent. Which is not having the oxygen, that is the reducing agent. Okay. So which substance is oxidized, which substance is reduced? Which substance is oxidized means to which substance oxygen is added. So here we are going in this substance, oxygen is present, but oxygen will be added to this substance. Yes or no? So to which substance the oxidation takes place? Okay. So which substance is getting oxidized means in which substance oxygen is going to get added. So in H2 only the oxygen will be added. CuO is already having oxygen. We cannot again add oxygen in that. Okay. So H2 only we will be adding oxygen. So H2 is oxidized. So from CuO we will be removing the oxygen. So if you remove the oxygen, CuO will get reduced. So the substance reduced is CuO. Okay, all the answers you have to choose only from the reactant side. You should not see the product side. Always the substance reduced and oxidizing agent will be the same answer. Reducing agent and substance oxidized will be the same answer. Okay, so one more reaction I will write here. ZnO plus C gives Zn plus CO. Now here you say which substance is oxidized, which substance is reduced, which is the oxidizing agent, and which is the reducing agent. Okay. So first we will find out the oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent means the substance which donates oxygen. So always we should see only the reactant side. So which will donate oxygen here? ZnO only is having oxygen. So it will only donate oxygen. So the oxidizing agent is ZnO. If this is the oxidizing agent, then C will be the reducing agent. So which substance is oxidized? In carbon only we will be adding oxygen. So carbon only will be oxidized. So carbon will be oxidized. Which will be reduced? Zinc oxide will be reduced. So already told you oxidizing agent and substance reduced will be same answer. And reducing agent and substance oxidized will be same answer. So I hope you understood whatever I taught in this video. Thermochemical reactions, endothermic, exothermic, I explained in that. In that I told you why photosynthesis is endothermic and respiration is exothermic. And then I told you about precipitation reaction, what is oxidation, what is reduction, what is redox reaction, and some two practice questions in from redox reactions. Okay, so if you want online classes, you can contact me here in this mail ID or in this WhatsApp number, or if you are staying in Chennai and if you want direct tuitions, you can come directly to the tuition. Okay, and if you can understand this and if you want your friends also to get benefited, you can share this video with them, and please subscribe the channel. Okay, thank you.